take the field today in hopes of leading their team to victory. It's the Dolphins going up against the Bengals. So let's send you up now to the Queen City of Cincinnati. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
Larry, it's the NFL on EA Sports, and there you get a look at Paul Brown Stadium on the banks of the Ohio River in Cincinnati. Tonight, on this fine Thursday night, we've got a good one in store between the Miami Dolphins and the Cincinnati Bengals. Hi again, everybody. I'm Brandon Gaudin. To my left, as always, he's Charles Davis. And, Charles, we saw in the open, we've got a couple of great running backs in this game tonight, each capable of putting a team on his back.
And I'm excited to talk about the runners, not just the passers, who have a big hand and who's going to win this game. Both of these guys are do it all. Can run it, can catch it. I can't wait to get this one started.
There's Mike Nugent now to put this one in the air. And we are underway from Cincinnati. Here's Jarvis Landry now on the return. Penalty marker is down here. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line.
Illegal block in the back. Return team. Automatic first down.
Foster alone in the backfield. And he'll get it up the middle. And he'll lose yardage on this one back to the 13. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
Well, we just saw the recipe for success right there. Big body, strong, agile, playing with great leverage in hands. Not really able to be blocked on that play. Close things down inside.
Defense in a good spot. Let's see how the offense responds with a 2nd and 13 now. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. They'll get 4 on 2nd down, but it leaves them with 3rd and still 9 to go.
We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. First level defensive line, second level linebackers, third level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a first level run, and it was stopped by a second level player.
And defensively, it's a nickel formation here on 3rd down and 9. Throwing on 3rd down, Tannehill. And he's got him. It's the tight end, Cameron. And they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
On 1st down, it's Tannehill. He's going to lead this for his running back. It's complete. 18 yards on the pickup there. And the Dolphins are going to get a 1st down.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he'll get it down inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Now that's exactly what you want on a 1st down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
To throw on second down is Tannehill. Surveying the field. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. A good pickup there of 20 yards. And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area that they want him involved. Just as you said, they want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting.
Now it's the Boise State alum, Jay Ajayi. And he is going to lose yardage here. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
On second down, here's Tannehill. He's got and they're going to get him. They bring him down to the sack back at the 16-yard line.
Well, in my time in football, I've yet to see a playbook that draws up offensive plays designed to lose yardage. A running play loses yardage on first down. They try and throw it, take a sack on second down. What can the offensive coordinator come up with here on third down?
From the 15 now after the sack. It's third and goal. An extra defensive back on the field here for third and goal. From the gun, here's Tannehill. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. Kenny Stills, a 14-yard touchdown. And the Dolphins take it right down and score on the opening drive. And that time, he came out of the slot for that big play downfield for the score.
I think what we just saw there, partner, was what we call scheming a guy open. Put him in the slot, know that he has tremendous speed. What you're doing with your other receivers is likely running shorter routes to draw the attention closer to the line of scrimmage, to give him a chance to get downfield and turn it into a one-on-one route, often against the safety. You like your odds when he's running against the safety. His speed usually wins, and it did on that play.
Franks now on to kick it away after the touchdown. And on the return, here comes Adam Jones. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. And we're going to get our first look at the Cincinnati Bengals on offense and their quarterback, Andy Dalton, against the Broncos in that loss. He was 21 of 31 in Week 3, 206 yards, and threw an interception.
Hard to maneuver against the Denver Broncos. They affect any quarterback, even the great ones. All right, so Andy Dalton had a tough time there. He's looking to bounce back from that. Still the unquestioned leader of the Cincinnati Bengals offense, trying to break out in this game.
A first carry now. This is Hill. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. And in the backfield out of this starting group, you have to look out for Giovanni Bernard.
And you have to make sure you're ready to hit the spin button with this guy. Awfully exciting in the open field.
Offense looking to avoid a 3rd and long. It's 2nd and 10. Dalton throwing on 2nd down. Finding time. Complete to the right side. It's Eifert. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and that'll bring up a 3rd down. And a look at the starters for the Miami defense.
You can say a lot of things about the great play of Kiko Alonso, but the number one thing you will say, he will hit you.
So here we go, a 3rd down after the 2nd down pass completion. 3rd down, a shot here for Dalton. Looking for his running back, and he's got it. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him the football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make him make someone miss in the open field.
Now a 1st down carry. It's Hill. And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Cameron Wake makes plays like that look simple because I think he plays with excellent leverage. Really does a nice job of being lower than the offensive guys trying to block him and gets underneath them and goes up and down the line of scrimmage to make those types of plays.
And kept him to a short run play there. On 2nd down, Hill. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. Crashing in from the end there, not to disrupt the pass game, but to disrupt the run game.
Yeah, I love the distinction, too, because the good defensive ends, they can do it all. Set the edge in the run game, make sure that no one can move it that way, and, of course, rush the passer. On that play, use the speed to get there in the run game.
Fakes the give to Bernard. Dalton. He's going to air one out. And this will be caught at the 30. And he's brought down after a good gain. They chalk that one up as a gain of 34 on 3rd down. A great job pulling that one in from a guy, as we know, who can really blaze. He's got a lot of speed.
And that speed can work for him so many different ways. Sometimes he just takes off and goes and just runs past people. Sometimes you get people to back off so far that you can catch everything underneath. But still, at some point in the game, you probably have to make some contested catches, right? Sometimes you have to go up and beat a defender for the football. He has that in his arsenal as well.
Showed it right there. On 1st and 10, here's Andy Dalton. Green's got it over the middle. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. It's a gain of 7, and that'll make it 2nd down. He had time, was able to survey the field and find a soft spot in that zone coverage.
And that's where it gets difficult for a defender, Brandon. You go to your spots on the field that you have to cover, and when the offense finds an area that you're not in, that's where they throw the football.
Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping.
Neutral zone infraction, defense.
And a neutral zone infraction on the defense.
The defense thought they had the timing count on the quarterback's cadence, but they jumped too soon.
Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. First and 10 for Dalton. Incomplete. Jeremy Hill there was the intended target. And that'll make it 2nd and 10.
Everything about that play tells you about today's NFL offenses and what they're asking out of running backs. You can't just be a guy who can run the football. You have to be able to catch it as well, and he didn't get that done on that play.
Dalton with a give to Hill. Look at the spin. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. Jeremy Hill, a 13-yard touchdown run. And the Bengals are an extra point away from tying up this football game. Solid job up front. Really just a solid job all the way around to get that one in.
That was well executed, wasn't it? Well blocked, well run. End result, 6 points.
Touchdown. And now it's blocked. And now the Dolphins have it. And some space here. He's at the 50. The 30. 20. 10. 5. And he takes it the distance across the goal line for 2 points. After the touchdown, here's Mike Nugent now to kick this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Here come the Miami Dolphins and their quarterback Ryan Tannehill in Week 3. They got off the schneid. They were 0-2, had losses to Seattle and New England, 2 tough places to play on the road, but they came back home and got the win against Cleveland.
And they needed it so badly because this is a team, I believe, that has designs on pushing towards the playoffs. And Ryan Tannehill is a quarterback. So much conversation in the offseason about him realizing his potential. I think with Adam Gase as his head coach, he's going to have a great opportunity to reach that potential.
Also the first win for Adam Gase as head coach of the Dolphins. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. But good luck there as a ball carrier. You get handed that football, look up, oh, there's a big D tackle ready to swallow you whole for a loss.
Yeah, you kind of count on your guys to give you at least a little bit of time, a little bit of space to try and maneuver, but not on that one. And when you have a defensive tackle who is that strong, that agile, he's a lot to deal with. Sometimes you have to double him, and sometimes you're not able to block him no matter who's trying.
And they'll go on the ground. And a nifty little deke juke spin move. Not a great deal there on the back end, but a nice gain still.
Look, the first down marker is out there, but sometimes it's hard to find for an offense when they're in a long yardage situation, which usually means throw the football. In this case, they went against the tendency and ran it, and boy, the reward was there. A big, big pickup, and guess what? It's now 3rd and very short in order to try and pick up a first down.
And a nickel look here for the Bengals as they try to defend this on 3rd. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
3rd and 1, partner. No need to be fancy there. Just use some force and move forward and pick up the first down.
So they pick up the first down after the run, and now they approach for the fresh set. On 1st and 10, Tannehill over the middle and into the hands of his receiver, Landry. It's a gain of 9 yards, and that'll make it 2nd and short. And something you and I were talking about in our pregame meetings, Jarvis Landry, he likes being a part of Adam Gase's offense, doesn't he?
That he does, and he loves being a #1 receiver. Because to be that guy, you know that they're going to kick coverages towards you. They're going to make it difficult, yet you're still going to produce. And that's exactly who Jarvis Landry is. How about the 32-yarder to set up the game-winning touchdown? He's a pressure player.
Yeah, he finished in that game against Cleveland with 7 catches, 120 yards, and a touchdown. And now he lost the football. Tannehill loses it. And his guys will take over at their own 44-yard line.
In order to get better, you can never stop coaching these guys. And Ryan Tannehill, one of the issues he's had in the league is he coughs up the ball a little bit as a quarterback.
Yeah, he hasn't been the worst, but the first 4 years he was in the league, he went 9, 9, 10, 10 on fumbles.
So there's definitely cause for some concern, and they want to keep emphasizing protecting the ball, take care of it, because that only hurts their offense when they continue to turn it over.
Here comes the Dolphins defensive unit now. Obviously a close game from the defensive standpoint. Maybe don't want to blow it too much out of proportion, but how important is this drive?
I think it's huge for them because they've got to find a way to help out their offense, whether it's doing it themselves, taking the ball away and scoring, or setting their offense up in a good position to give them a chance to fully be back in this game.
And sometimes that defense triggers the offense. We'll see. They begin the drive with Hill. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
When I see Cameron Wake make plays like that, I can't help but shake my head sometimes. He had to go to Canada first before he came back to the NFL, where he's now an all-pro.
Yeah, undrafted out of Penn State, but look at him now.
And just think about all the pass-rushing moves he has, his ability to play against the run. Remember, he was a combo outside linebacker, defensive end. Now he's just simply one of the best in the NFL.
They'll wind up losing 3, and now it's 3rd down.
Good luck trying to get your running game going against Ndamukong Suh. I mean, he is so strong. Just trying to move him, take one guy, 2 guys, whatever. I wish you a whole lot of luck. He usually converts an offensive running game into rubble.
Third and long. What will Dalton dial up? He's got time. And that will be caught, but out of bounds. Out of bounds, ruled incomplete here. A 3rd down, he tried to stay in bounds, did all he could. He caught it, but was led a little bit too far.
Yeah, and that's always difficult, isn't it? Because you know half of your body is trying to stay behind while the other half is reaching out, trying to catch the football. The top half worked. It was the bottom half that was in question.
Landry now on the return. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And it'll be Dolphin football. And the Dolphins offense now ready to go back out on the field. And last drive, obviously not what you're looking for. You've got the lead. You got to protect the football.
So in other words, someone got lucky because they've been moving the ball really well and wearing them down. In this case, though, giving up the football doesn't make them very happy. They can't wait to get back out there and atone for it.
Yeah, try to atone for it here on this drive. Now a 1st down throw, Tannehill. And Stills over the middle. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
They'll come out in the pistol. And he'll give it here to his running back. And no room that time, getting it to about the 46. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, you know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. 1 quarter in the books here on a Thursday night. The Dolphins with the early lead. We'll return to Cincinnati after this.
This presentation of the NFL on EA Sports is brought to you by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
Back now with Charles Day. Foster alone in the backfield. He'll get the football here. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. So he loses 3 yards there. Now 3rd down.
I don't know that it was exactly drawn up this way, but sometimes blitzes aren't just for passes. Sometimes you have run blitzes, and the safety came through clean and took him down on the draw play. Excellent job by the defender diagnosing and making the play.
So now at 3rd and 12 with an extra defender here in the secondary. A nickel look. Here's Tannehill. And he fends him off. Under pressure here, and down he goes. Sacked back at about the 43-yard line.
Well, there was pressure all around him, so the only play was to try and get out of there. I think it was an excellent effort by him just to get back to the line of scrimmage.
And here's the all-rookie punter from 2015, Matt Darr, on now to punt it away. Back deep for the Bengals, Adam Jones. And they'll let this one go right on the outskirts of the 10. They'll down it at the 11-yard line. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Now Dalton with a 1st and 10. And that is incomplete here. You know, it's hard to believe that with week 4 here, October is already upon us, and bye week's already upon us. Green Bay and Philly get week 4 off.
And I'm not sure either one of them wants it, but if one does for sure, it'd be Green Bay, because their last 2 preseason games were on the road, their first 2 regular season games on the road, so maybe that'll help them relax a little bit. Philadelphia, though, they're 3-0 and undefeated. They'd rather keep playing right now. I think most teams would like to have their open week later in the season.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you, maybe week 9, week 10, so you have a lot on the front and a lot on the back, a good break in the middle.
I think you're exactly right. Rest up, heal up, and then get ready for the stretch drive. They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
3rd down and 4. They send Green to the left on his own. 3rd down from the gun, Dalton. And that is incomplete. Brandon LaFell, his intended target, and it'll be 4th down. Well, they've had a pretty frustrating first half here offensively, and that just continued there with that incompletion.
Yeah, definitely frustrating for them, but heartening for the other guys. Those stop troops, they're enjoying things right now because they've made it very difficult for them throughout the half.
Here's Kevin Huber now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. first kick 47. This one looks good as well. Now Landry. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Here comes Ryan Tannehill now, leading his offense back out there. He's played a pretty clean first half, a touchdown, no interceptions.
Frankly, that's what they expect out of him. They want to see the ball thrown and thrown well, and he's able to do that and put it in the end zone. They'd love to see more of that before this game finishes, but right now, he's got his team in a good spot.
A good spot, maybe looking for touchdown pass number 2 here in the second quarter. And to give this time to the tailback. Fighting him off.
Just ran right through the trash.
And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
Well, plenty of credit has to go to the guy carrying the ball. He broke the tackle and gained the yardage. But that doesn't necessarily mean that the defender's bad. They're not going to make 100% of the tackles all the time. Even the best in the game will miss one occasionally. The key is not to let it snowball and miss tackle after tackle. On that play, credit to the offense, but that doesn't make the defense bad.
And a new set of downs here after picking up the first on the ground. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get inside the 40 to maybe the 38-yard line. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
And Brandon, every running back wants to use their speed in order to get out in front of things. Sometimes you just have to be patient, let blocks develop. On that play, that didn't happen.
If they want a first, they need to get the football to the 32 here on 3rd down. So 3rd and 7 and an extra defensive back on the field here.
Definitely want to play coverage here.
Here's Tannehill. And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure. The 4-time Pro Bowler, 2-time All-Pro, Geno Atkins, in there to drop him for a loss of 10. And it'll be 4th and long.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
Here's Matt Darr now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin him back. Now this Bengals offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. They start the drive on the ground with Hill. And he finds some space past the 25 to the 27. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. So Jeremy Hill got the call there, and he's trying to pick his yardage back up. 2 years ago, Charles, he was over 1,100. Last year, below 800.
Just never got going with any consistency throughout the 2015 season. You know his determination is sky high for this one.
3 yards remaining here on 2nd down. The play fake to Hill. Dalton surveying the field. Oh, nearly picked. And maybe lucky there. This guy doesn't drop many defensively. 3rd down.
Tremendous coverage there. Just did not catch the football and complete the interception. But what do they say all the time? If he had really good hands, he'd be playing offense.
Yeah, the Dolphins beef up the secondary here as they look to stop him on third down. They look to throw on third with Dalton. Caught Eifert over the middle. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a first down. And they're on third and short. They just tried to spread the field. It worked.
And I think that the spreading of the field, the extra receivers, has really become the next in the evolutionary chain in the NFL. Go all the way back in that situation, you're handed to the fullback, right? As we evolve, maybe you pitched it to your tailback. Now you spread the field, and you have your choices of where to throw it and complete it for a first down.
And Dalton hands to Hill. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. The defensive end, Cameron Wake, brings him down.
Now that's the type of play that'll fire up a defense. Hold them to 1 yard on a first down run. It'll be interesting to see if the offense decides to press the run at all or if they'll abandon it now after gaining only 1 on that play.
Dalton to Hill on the draw. Spinning past him. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. Give him 6 yards on the carry. It's going to be 3rd and 3 now.
That was a good run, and it got to the second level. And what I mean by that is that's where the linebackers usually play. First level being the defensive front, last level being the secondary. But the strong safety position ended up making the tackle. And oftentimes we call them a hybrid. Combination defensive back, combination linebacker. We saw the linebacker make the stop.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Hill. Just a gain of 2 there, and it's going to bring up a 4th down.
So many things go into making a good play on defense. In this situation, just not being blown out of the way was a big start, and then a nice tackle to finish things off.
Here's Kevin Huber now as he's on to punt for Cincinnati. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. Here's Ryan Tannehill and the Dolphin offense back out onto the field. They've got the lead. He's a big reason why, looking sharp far.
And as we travel around the league, we see quarterbacks get it done in a variety of ways. But today's NFL does tell us one thing. If that guy doesn't play well, their team's not going to win. And right now he's got his team in the lead.
And now they'll look to extend that lead. Tannehill on first down. And his throw is incomplete. Jordan Cameron is tight end, the intended receiver. While we have the chance, we have to discuss what young quarterbacks have done so far this season. Listen to this. Wentz, Simeon, Prescott, Garoppolo, Brissett, and Kessler combined 11-2 with a 15-3 touchdown to interception ratio. That's impressive.
I thought everyone keeps saying that playing quarterback is really tough to do in the NFL.
Those guys are proving them wrong.
Well, I think that what they're doing is they're taking advantage of their skill set, emphasizing what they do best, minimizing things for them, right, to avoid errors. But some of them continue to elevate their game, and Trevor Siemian comes to mind. How about his last performance? 4 touchdown passes, no interceptions.
3rd down now following the completed pass. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. The 3rd and inches, trying to pick it up the middle. He had nowhere to go, tackled for a loss.
And you know how we talk about double A-gap pressure, meaning linebackers going in the gap between the center and the guard on either side? Well, it's not always to get to the passer. Sometimes you do that to prevent a running play. Worked pretty well in that situation.
His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. Jones on the return. And there's a flag on the field.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
And I know it's hard in live action, but you've got to keep your hands away from the face. That's a 15-yard penalty.
You work on it all the time, making sure your target area is lower and trying to keep your hands away from the face mask so you don't get the big penalty.
They come out here in the eye. Now a handoff. Here's Hill. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
It's second down. Dalton looking. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's third down.
Let's face it, you can run the route tree as many times as you want, get in sync, practice it, do all those things. But once you get to game speed, it doesn't always time up quite that well. That one goes incomplete.
And they'll need the 39 here for a first. This is third down. Fakes the give to Bernard. Dalton. He sets to fire deep. And incomplete. He can't hang on. Would have been a nice catch. Instead, it brings up a fourth down.
And when all else fails as a defender, when you're not there in the coverage, your best friend is exactly what we saw there. A big play shot taken by the offense. Unfortunately, it ended in a big drop.
Here's Kevin Huber now. He's been terrific so far. And this is away, and I don't think Landry will get a chance to return here. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. Then the Dolphins getting set to go here. And this offense last time turned it over, went for it on fourth, didn't get it. They're lucky, though, because no points against the team on the board, but we'll see how they respond.
Yeah, they've got to get a lot of credit to their defensive teammates, don't they? They had their backs on that last series, and because they did so, that allows the coach to still stay aggressive on offense and maybe go for it again in a similar situation.
I was going to say, maybe makes that offense feel good when you know you've got a defense making stands like that.
Yeah, that'll loosen up things a little bit, won't it? Maybe you'll play a little bit better the next time you have the ball.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he's going to get hit at the line of scrimmage and driven backwards. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. Big boys down there in the trenches and a nice play to stop them cold. Nothing there.
Yeah, when you talk about big boys, you're talking about those defensive tackles, those nose tackles. They're not just big, they're immense. And what a big-time play there.
Here's Tannehill now on second down. And that's incomplete. His tight end, Jordan Cameron, the intended target. And it'll be 3rd and 10. Third down here for the offense after the incomplete pass. Throwing on third down, Tannehill. He's got time in the pocket. And he's taken down, trying to do a little too much, getting outside of the pocket, and it results in a sack. Well, they went with a nickel. They throw in an extra defensive back. Coverage was very good.
Yeah, it was exactly as you would expect. A passing down, you bring in the nickel package. Just as you described, the coverage was excellent and allowed one of their linemen to end up getting to the quarterback.
Here's Matt Darr now. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Fair catch taken just inside the 40-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt, and the Bengals take possession. Cincinnati now ready to take the field, and they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Well, in that play, the expression, don't blink, you might miss something, certainly applied. That was fast. Defense diagnosed the play, and it was over in a heartbeat.
A little bit of ground to make up for the offense as they face a 2nd and 11. They send Green to the left on his own. Play action now. Dalton finding time. Still back there. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. Nice completion there for Andy Dalton. And Charles, you worked some of his games when he was at TCU. Now you've worked his games in the NFL. What progression have you seen?
I've seen a guy who took over as a freshman in college and got better and better each year. Always added a little bit more to his game, gets stronger. But the best part about him is he's always been accurate.
And the 2-minute warning lurking. This will probably be the last play before we hit it.
Yeah, they want to get themselves in position to score in this last shot before the clock hits.
2 minutes to go here in the first half. We'll come back to Cincinnati after this. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes' time, we'll hand you off to Orlando, where Larry Ridley will have highlights and analysis of this first half of action. Now the offense lining up 1st and 10. A first down throw coming for Dalton. A dump off now to Hill. Give him 22 on that one. And it's good enough for a Cincinnati first down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Hill, the lone setback. Movement there on the offensive line. A little quick, and a 5-yard penalty.
False start, offense.
So now 1st and 15. Dalton here from the gun. And caught right side, Green. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. That one good for 10 yards. And it'll be a 2nd down.
That looked like a pretty good route combination there, because you've got to find a way to clear the guy running the drag, because when you do, you just put the ball on him and then let him run.
Yeah, he's got some space. And the defense with their backs against the wall a little bit here as the offense is in the red zone.
Hey. Ready. Blue 10.
This will be Dalton again. He completes it to Boyd. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6.
And those first downs do add up. The offense keeps the ball moving downfield and keeps their defense on the bench, giving them a chance to rest.
Creeping up on a minute to play in this first half. It's a 5-receiver set. 3 to the left, 2 to the right. Another chance for Dalton. This will be caught at about the 5. It'll be a pickup of just 2, and that'll make it 2nd and goal. So the offensive unit called the TO, and now we are ready to resume play. They send Green to the left on his own. And again, Andy Dalton to throw. And that is caught. He's got it for a Bengal touchdown. A.J. Green from 4 yards out. And the Bengals are in for 6.
And while that touchdown does not give them an insurmountable lead, it's still a lead, and that always feels good to a team.
They'd love to take that into the lockers, but a little time left on that clock, so some work to do.
I like that. I like how you're guarding against a letdown there.
Are you looking forward?
Coaching them up from right up here in the booth.
Nugent on now for the extra point. And he atones for his miss the first time around, as this one is up and good to extend their lead. After the touchdown, here's Mike Nugent now to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. Out comes the Dolphin offense now as they get set to take over here. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
On 1st and 10, Tannehill. It's caught. Cameron, left side. And he's able to get up here to the 26. It's a 9-yard pickup on the play, and it'll be 2nd and about a yard to go for the first. So the offense takes the timeout, and they are back out and ready to rock. Completed pass play. Now let's see if they go back to the air or to the ground. Here's Tannehill now on 2nd down. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains. Offense took the timeout. Looks like they're ready to go as we get set to resume the action. On first down, it's Tannehill. To the right side, and he's got Landry complete. And they take possession of the football at the 36-yard line. Well, he did what he's known for. He made the catch, then he turned into a runner, took the contact, and coughed it up.
And all I remember as a player, when they catch the ball, when those acrobatic guys catch it, you have to make them pay sometimes. You have to put it on them. Big tackle, knock the ball free. Anything you can do to slow them down.
Getting set to go again, Andy Dalton marches. He's got to be feeling pretty good. Playing well. Team has the lead, so just looking to mount a drive here that ends in the end zone.
And all quarterbacks will tell you, hey, we love a running game, helps us out. But at the end of the day, they want to rely on their arm. Throw the football, feel good about things, keep things moving in the right direction. Right now, that's exactly what we're seeing.
And we'll see if that continues. One receiver left, two to the right. All right, let's see what Dalton can do after the fumble recovery. And that's going to be complete. Jeremy Hill was the one he was trying to hit there. And it'll be 2nd and 10.
So many offenses want to include their running backs into their passing offense and be able to swing the ball out or check it down to them. But sometimes those guys are just not as comfortable catching the ball as they are running it.
Offense still needing 10 yards. 2nd down. Hill, the lone setback. 2nd and 10. Dalton once more. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
After watching him drop that slant, I can hear my old coach's voice ringing in my ears right now. You kick the ball until you catch it. Trying to get those rack yards before he secured it.
Dolphins bring on an extra defensive back on 3rd down. 3rd down, a shot here for Dalton. He's got his man, Boyd. And he gets the 1st down here as he's taken down at the 24. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. So we're back in the offense getting set following the call of that timeout. A 1st down throw coming for Dalton. And over the middle, it's LaFell. A solid pickup of 13 sets him up 1st and goal. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. And we're back. The offense had a chance to talk things over. We'll see what they come up with here on this next play. And now inside the red zone, the offense will operate.
Hey, 4 down, 4 down. Ready, blue 10, blue 10.
Now Dalton with a 1st and 10. He's got time. And that is incomplete. 7 seconds remaining. His big tight Eifert, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up a 2nd and goal.
It's a tried and true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. Another look for Dalton on 2nd and 10. And he's got it. Touchdown, Bengals. Their big-bodied receiver in the final seconds of the 1st half. And the Bengals add on to their lead.
And that's a lead that excites a team as they head into the half. Good way to finish things off.
Yeah, able to extend that lead, and you always say it, that can totally change the complexion of half number 2.
Yeah, it changes your morale, changes your outlook, but even before that, let's see if they decide to kind of squib kick or what they're going to do on the kickoff, because you don't want to give up a big play right before the half ends.
Good point. After the touchdown, here's Mike Nugent now to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. And with time running short here, they'll simply take a knee, and that should do it for half number 1. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game.
Thanks, Brandon. I'm Larry Ridley, and welcome to our EA Halftime Report. The Bengals are happy to be in front right now and just want to play 2 more solid quarters. The Dolphins just want to come out after the half and claw their way back into the game. All right, let's roll those highlights. Dolphins open up on offense. Tannehill's going to complete the pass from the gun, and the pass and catch will end up going for 31 yards. Dolphins still on the field. Tannehill's got the completion here, and it leads to a touchdown. They strike first in the half. 3rd and 7. Green's got the catch here, and he'll end up at the 25-yard line before being tackled. Later on the drive, Hill's going to look for space, and he'll go in for the score, cutting the deficit to 3. Final seconds in the first half. In double coverage, Dalton finds Green, and this play goes for a score. They're now on top by 4. Dolphins now late in the second. Landry's going to cough up possession here, and he'll end up picking up 28 yards on the play. Now following the fumble, Dalton's throw here goes into the end zone, and that goes as a 10-yard touchdown. The Bengals push their lead to 11. So that's it for us at the EA Sports Studio. We'll go back now to Cincinnati for the start of the second half.
Here's Franks now to kick this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or 2 shy of the 30. The Bengal offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. They go play action here on first down. Green's got it over the middle. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down.
Well, it's real easy to ascertain that in the game plan, Andy Dalton to A.J. Green was deemed vital.
And it certainly was the focal point of the defense. They just had trouble with it. Most teams do.
Well, that just tells you how good it is. These guys have grown together, coming into the Bengals, getting together early, and continuing to get better. Doesn't matter what defense is put out there. They feel like they have an answer for it.
Fresh set of downs here. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. On first and 10, here's Andy Dalton. And complete into the arms of LaFell. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
And he'll take it down to the 30-yard line. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it second and a foot or so. And third quarter here, you've got the lead. This is where that strong run game can really benefit you. Stayed in bounds there, kept the clock going.
I like all the points you just made there. And if you throw the football and it's incomplete, now you've stopped the clock and you've helped out the guys on the other side of the ball. So keep it in the hands of those runners, keep moving it, keep grinding clock.
Dalton throwing on second down. Underneath here to Hill. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. The gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
On the counter, it's Hill. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Second down, Dalton. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And inside the 15, shy of the 10. It's a pickup of 15 and a fresh set of downs.
And they pick up a first down, and that came out of the fullback position. But as you and I both know, that doesn't necessarily mean it's a fullback playing in that spot.
Well, times have changed, right? The old school fullback doesn't really exist anymore.
We're not getting that same player out of college with all the spread offenses, not very many pro style where you actually have a true fullback. We're having to make do in the NFL and put guys in that spot who emulate it but aren't necessarily that position.
They'll run it here with Bernard. A gain of 3, second down.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
Again, here's Bernard. Oh, what a move. And he maneuvers his way down to the 3-yard line. It's a gain of 6, moves him to a manageable 3rd and 2 situation.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
3rd and 2 for Dalton. surveying the field. And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up fourth. Now, they've got to be a little frustrated here to not complete that on third down after having such a long drive going.
Hey, you're talking about going over 70 yards on the drive. Yeah, did you say a little frustrated?
Very frustrated.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I'm very frustrated. There's no doubt about it. They thought they were going to have a chance to cash in the end zone. Now it looks like it's likely a field goal attempt.
And Nugent puts it through, and that will extend their lead even further. So put another 3 on the board, and all things considered, a good opening drive here to begin the third quarter.
It sure was. I think as a head coach, you're happy to come out and put a little drive together, take the 3 points, and build on your lead.
Back out Nugent now after the field goal as he'll send it away. This will be fielded at the 6. And there's a flag on the play. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
Illegal block in the back. Return team.
Foster alone in the backfield. And he'll get it up the middle. And he'll take this one up over the 20 to the 21-yard line. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
Second down, and the offense needing 5 yards. They'll give it to him right up the gut. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
And that's a nice pickup of a first down on that second down run. And at that yardage gained, they can run that play on any down.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. No gain on the play there. Second down.
Well, he didn't make headway on that one, but he's had plenty of carries all night long. I just wonder if maybe he's a little bit tired from toting the rock that much.
Again, we'll see the pistol here. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he'll be tackled at about the 35. 8 yards on the run there, and that leaves him with third and just a couple. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him, so when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
So second down was a run play. Now let's see what they do on third. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be taken down right at the line. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be fourth down.
And, partner, when you run the ball on 3rd and 2, you're telling the whole world you've got nothing but confidence in your offensive line and your runner, and you expect to get it. But they were stuffed on that play. Only got 1 yard. Great job by the defensive front, the linebackers. Everyone got involved to force a fourth down.
And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. You put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about
toe
that.
Bashed it.
Super toe.
Hey, blue 10. Blue 10.
They'll try to get the offense going with Hill. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down. They run it again with Hill. And this time not as successful as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. He can muster only a yard there, and they'll be left with a 3rd and very short.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
On 3rd down, here's Hill. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
That was a terrific job by the defense stopping them on 3rd and short. But sometimes you get some visual cues from the offense because when they're going in short yard situations, you might see the offensive line come in tighter together, a little more shoulder to shoulder, trying to wedge a hole in the middle. They didn't get it done on that play.
Here's Kevin Huber now as he'll come on for his 5th kick of the night. .46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well. Oh, he shifts past him. So just a 3-yard return following a punt of 45. And it'll be Dolphin football. The Bengals defense getting ready to go again. They forced the punt the last time, got off the field. I'm sure some of your D coordinators through the years, you liked when you heard those words, get off the field.
Oh, there's no doubt.
Or maybe you didn't like it when you heard those words.
It depended on when they were yelling them. But in this situation, absolutely perfect. Get off the field, force a punt, let the offense take over and do their thing, and it resulted in a field goal.
Now we'll see if they can do that again. On 1st and 10, Tannehill. And throw right side complete to Parker. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
Here's Tannehill now on 2nd down. Now they go screen. It's complete. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
And that was a beautifully executed screen pass. They let the rushers get upfield and get the escorts in front, meaning the offensive linemen, other blockers out in front, completed the pass beautifully. So now you've got all that open space with big guys leading the way.
So after that big play, let's see if they can catch their defense maybe on their heels. On 1st down, it's Tannehill. Looking left side, that's caught by Landry. And he's going to get this inside the 30. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
First down and 10 now for the offensive group. They go play action here on first down. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
To throw on second down is Tannehill. And this is caught at the 8. He got 29 yards that time. They come up in an offset eye. So the chains are on their sides. It's first and goal from the 6. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards, a good run there, and now second and goal. When we talk about being on schedule, I think they're on schedule after that run, getting it right down there on the doorstep.
Maybe even a little bit ahead, because now the defense can't dictate with pressure. They're guessing about where you're going to go. I might come right back at them with the same play, the same set, and see if they can stop them.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And this will result in him losing yardage back to the 3. It's a loss of 2, now third down.
Well, sometimes I get caught in hyperbole, but I think they desperately need to punch this one in. They're running out of time.
Yeah, 2-score game, second half, you're down here. This is the time to put it in the end zone.
And not going to get much better than this for an opportunity.
Gotta figure this is one they need here on third and goal. One quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now in Cincinnati. It's Dolphin football, but they trail here as we get set for the 4th. They gotta have 6 here. It's third and goal. They come out here in the eye. Both the run and pass still in play here on third and goal from the 3. He needed 3. He got 2. Now that'll set up an interesting situation here on 4th and a yard.
Brandon, it's easy to make decisions from right up here where we are, right in the cheap seats, but let's be frank about this one. This isn't even a decision as far as I'm concerned. They have to go for it here. Field goal does you almost no good as time's running out in the game. If you want to win, you have to be aggressive here.
And Frank's kick is good. And the Dolphins are going to be forced to settle for 3. So it's an old-school extra point, but certainly a disappointment that they couldn't get 6.
Yeah, when you see 19-yard field goal in the box score, you kind of shake your head. But their head coach decided 3 was enough.
Now it's Franks following the made field goal to send it away. This is taken at his 4. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage.
Leverage.
Big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and give these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. They come up in an offset eye. The busy night continues for Hill. And he'll work this one up to about the 38. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. The fourth quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
2nd down following the run.
Watch left, watch left. Tight end to the left, tight end left.
Another pistol look here.
Wide 20. Wide 20.
Again, it's Hill. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
Doesn't matter who you're rooting for in this game. The effort of the man with the football, getting away from one and trying to turn forward and get some yardage, I really liked what he did there.
And the offense in that middle ground here on 3rd down. 3rd and 5. 3rd down from the gun. Dalton. And Eifert has it. And he will have the 1st down as he's brought down up near midfield. He's played a great game. It continues right there, even with this lead, confident to throw the pass and have the reception made.
There's no doubt who the leader of their team is there? There's no doubt who they want to ride all the way to the finish. Because strategy would tell you, run the football, run the clock down. Instead, they're letting him throw it because they feel that confident in what he's getting done.
Now carry number 20 here for Hill. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. And in this situation with the lead, 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take. Puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
They'll run. This is Hill. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a 3rd and about 4 more for a 1st.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
An extra defensive back in the game now here for 3rd and 4. Dalton here from the gun. And this is going to be incomplete. The H-back, Ryan Hewitt, the intended receiver. And that's going to make it 4th down.
Looked like they had an opportunity for a big play across the middle, but he didn't have the concentration or the focus necessary and dropped it before he could haul it in.
And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. 4th down. Dalton wants to throw. And that is incomplete. Marvin Lewis tries for it, but comes up empty. And the Dolphins' defense is able to hold. And I am not sure, partner, there what the mindset was to go for it. I don't know.
And some teams just feel that possession is the key to everything. They just want to have the football in their hands. No matter how it goes to the other team, they just don't trust doing that. So they say, listen, go for it and try and finish it ourselves.
Tannehill on first down. And Cameron has it over the middle. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. 5 yards on the pickup, and that'll make this a second down.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
Second down now after the pass completion.
Watch left. Tight. Watch left. Hey, blue 10.
Now whistles and a flag, and I believe a Dolphin got going a little early.
False start. Offense.
Ten yards still left on second down. From the gun, here's Tannehill. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50.
I'm going to show my age here a little bit. We used to talk about running backs catching the ball as safety valves. Nowadays, they're a big part of the passing offense.
Quit acting like you're so old. You're only 65. Well, they get the completed pass, but still have more to go here on third down. From the 50, it's Tannehill. He'll set up the screen to Drake. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. 4 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up fourth down.
They dialed up the screen pass on third down, and for a second, it looked like it was all going to come together, and they had a chance to pick up a first down, but the defense got there and finished it off.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on fourth down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. Desperation time for Tannehill on fourth down. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37.
Well, it all came together on that one, didn't it?
Big time throw on fourth.
Now that had to feel good, didn't it? Taking that type of a gamble there, making it pay off. What a throw.
And tough as a receiver because no matter how perfect the pass, you know it's fourth down and you got to convert.
A little bit of extra pressure, but he overcame it.
Watch that in. Tight end's right. Blue 10.
On first down, it's Tannehill. And oh, look at that. A diving catch. Give them 13 on the pickup there. And the Dolphins have a first down.
And that's how you throw for a whole heap of yards in a game. You get efforts like that from your receivers. How about him laying out for that catch?
Yeah, excellent. Makes the quarterback look a whole lot better.
Tight end's left.
Now a first down throw, Tannehill. And that incompletion breaks a string of 5 straight connections. And it's second down. To the air, Tannehill on second down. It's caught, Stills, right side. 6 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it third down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Here's the 7th play of this drive. This is 3rd and 4. And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he gets the first down yardage before he's brought down just outside the 10 at the 11.
On third down, that's a good job of situational football and understanding where the first down marker was and getting there.
So the run gets them the first, and now they operate with a fresh set of downs. They'll run it now out of the gun. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
No gain on that run, and while the team is down, there's still time to come back and win the football game. If I'm the offensive coordinator, though, I've got to think about moving at a faster pace and maybe opening things up a little bit and throwing it a little bit more.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And here's another tackle made at the line, so they're converging well on the football now. Back-to-back stops make it 3rd and 10.
And while there is no gain on that run, we do know coaches whose identity is rooted in taking it almost to the limit and then changing things up on you down the stretch. I think we're getting really close to that point in time, though, where the identity may have to go out the window, and they've got to go a little bit faster in order to try and win the game.
Throwing on 3rd down, Tannehill. And he will go down outside of the pocket for a sack. Tried to get away, but could not.
You know, on these types of plays, we're always looking to assess blame. Okay, where did it break down? Sometimes it's just a great play.
Now it's Andrew Franks on for Miami. From the right hash, just a 34-yard attempt. And Frank's kick is good. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. All right, so you needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal then maybe not exactly what they wanted, but it's a necessary first step.
Still plenty of time remaining, but you could really use a stop defensively after the kickoff, preferably a 3-and-out.
Now it's Franks following the made field goal to send it away. This will be fielded at the 6. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Getting ready to go again. Here's Andy Dalton marching back onto the field. So, Charles, there are the numbers. What's happened here? Defensive adjustments that's caused him to sort of fall off a bit?
I think so. That has to happen. You've got to make some changes because in the first half, they were pretty effective. But the second part is sometimes when you're doing really well, you get off your game a little bit. You get off the gas a little. You're like, okay, we've got this thing. And that's not necessarily the case. Maybe right now, someone just needs to tell a joke in the huddle, loosen things up, and get their big guy going again.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a 1st down. Well done.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, doing a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or on the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch. So the offense has it 1st and 10. 1st and 10 for Dalton. Caught Eifert over the middle. Tyler Eifert. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. Tyler Eifert, 54 yards. And the Bengals are able to grow their lead. So many times you think of these tight ends catching the ball already in the end zone. But today's tight end, they can run after the catch, too, to score.
They're big, they're strong, and they're extremely athletic. And they can surprise the heck out of you when they get the ball in their hands and they're running away from the defense.
extra point coming now for Nugent. And the lead is up to 15 now. After the touchdown, here's Mike Nugent now to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And a couple yards deep, he'll go to a knee. He won't return it. And they'll take it out to the 25. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. Tannehill on first down. And his pass incomplete. He was trying to get it into his tight end Cameron that time, and that'll make it 2nd and 10.
Whenever they're trying to attack a zone defense, you're trying to figure out where your gaps are going to be. And depending on what type of zone they're playing, it could be on the outside, it could be in the middle, it could be in the seams, in the edges. In this case, they tried to attack the middle of the field, but this zone defense didn't allow it because they were able to see the ball come off the quarterback's hands, and everyone was able to react to the football and knock it away.
2nd and 10. Tannehill once more. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. Oh, shifty.
Whoa.
A good pick up there of 20 yards.
That was a beautifully executed screen pass. Let the rushers get upfield. The blocking forms in front. Lofted it to the runner. And now, not only does he have open space in front of him, he's got an escort as well, and they pick up big yardage.
And now a first down following that long gain. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's brought down. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks.
I thought guys that were over 30 weren't supposed to run the football this well in the National Football League. How about that veteran leadership? A big-time run combined with some nice blocking by his offensive line, showing that the ins and outs of being a veteran still has his place in this league. His odometer is not totally turned over yet.
On 1st and 10, Tannehill. He gets it to Sims, complete. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36.
That throw has to be a quarterback's dream, doesn't it? Big tight end, curling in the middle of the field, so it's great sight lines for him. And when they show their numbers back to the quarterback, when they sit down right there, that should be pitch and catch.
To throw on 2nd down is Tannehill. And that's complete. It's Sims. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
On 1st down, it's Tannehill. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. Give him 3 on the play, and that'll make it a 2nd down. time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. To the air again, Tannehill. And Stills over the middle. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks. And now they're in the hurry-up. From the red zone now, Tannehill. Can't find anyone open. And he'll find a man. That's Landry. And all the way down inside of 5 to the 4. A nice pickup of 14, and it moves the stick, sets up a 1st and goal. Now whistles and a flag, and I believe a Dolphin got going a little early.
False start, offense.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. On 2nd down, here's Tannehill. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. He was trying to get it to Jay Ajayi there out of the backfield. And that is going to set up 3rd and goal. They gotta have 6 here. It's 3rd and goal. Now Tannehill on 3rd and goal. And this is caught now for a late touchdown. So hold everything here. This one's not over yet.
And they put it in the end zone, which was job 1. Now they have to convert. And then it's decision time, isn't it?
Yeah, this is what all teams go through. You look at the clock, you're inside 2 minutes, look at your timeouts, make that onside kick decision.
Yeah, how do you feel about your defense, where you are in terms of the scoreboard, and the time left on the clock, as you noted, so many things to go through.
And now in a 9-point game, they'll still just need to go for 1 here. And it's good, so that will get them back within 1 score. So a minute and change to go, and this is going to be an onside kick. And this is going to be snuffed out. The Bengals recover. A tough one there. They certainly wanted that when they needed it, but they didn't absolutely have to get it. They still do have 3 timeouts.
You're exactly right. They had to attempt it. But even though they didn't get it, as you noted, with 3 timeouts, if they can get these stops on defense, all hope is not lost.
Let's put our attention here now on the Dolphins' defense. They do have all 3 timeouts remaining, but a 1st down likely ends this thing.
And it looks like they are, to coin a phrase, on the defensive here, right? But in fact, the team on offense has to be really careful because they're going to attack like crazy. They've got to cover the football, make sure they don't turn it over, and still find a way to finish off this game despite the extra pressure that's going to come their way.
Do you pack it in for a run here on first down?
I think that you do. That's how you have to play it. But at the same time, you're telling your ball carrier, both arms over the football, body, everything else, because they will do everything possible to try and knock it free.
Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Now the Dolphins are going to halt the action here. It's a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. All right, so the timeout over, and all 11 men back out onto the field for the defense. They'll hand it off now. Hill. So a nice job. Now the Dolphins are going to take another timeout here. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll leave them with a 3rd down and 6 to go. And now following that timeout, the defense back out onto the field. And they'll need to get to the 35 if they want to keep this drive going on 3rd down. Defense sinking pass. They've got the nickel set out on 3rd and 6. Dalton gives to Bernard. And he'll get inside the 40 to maybe the 38-yard line. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up a 4th down. So the defense had a chance to catch their breath, and now they're back out and ready. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to make it a 2-score game. And this one will not get there. It's off to the left anyway. It's no good, and this score will stay right where it is.
Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
The Dolphins offense now working their way back onto the field. They're down here in a 1-score game. But the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late game situation. What are we going to do when we have the opportunity? They've called these plays a bunch of times. Now's their chance to execute them.
Well, they have the opportunity now. Here's the execution. Back to throw. Toward the left sideline, but it's incomplete. They were looking that time for Leonte Carew. And that'll make it 2nd and 10.
Let's give some credit to the defensive guys on that play. Able to bat that one away. Sure looked like they were trying to hit the corner route.
And on 2nd and 10 now. He's back to throw. And throw right side complete to Parker. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. And he spikes it with just a shade under a half a minute left. 29 seconds on the clock. They'll look to throw. He's got time in the pocket. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he'll go out of bounds, making it all the way down to the 5.
Well, how about keeping your head about you in this situation? No more timeouts. Finds a way to get out of bounds. Now they can breathe a little bit as they contemplate what to do on the next down.
So after that big gain, let's see what else the offense has up its sleeve. He'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. So 17 seconds now on the clock here.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. Back to throw. And this is caught. He's got it for a touchdown. And now in the final seconds, it's all going to come down to a 2-point conversion. So they'll look to convert that and then hold on here in the final minute to force overtime.
And let's check the nerves of not just the guy kicking the ball, but how about the snapper and the holder as well.
And there's going to be a stoppage here. The booth wants to take another look at this potential touchdown.
Is under review. After review of the play, the movement on the field stands.
They had to go to the monitor, get an extra look. That's what the technology is for, and this touchdown will count. Listen to this crowd now. Their guys need a stop on this 2-point conversion. Tannehill going to throw for it, and they don't get it. It's incomplete. They got the touchdown, could not, however, get the 2-point conversion to cap it, and they're still down by a pair. So with 14 seconds on the clock, they've got to go with the onside kick. And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. They had to go for it with no timeouts remaining, though now. This one's as good as over.
They gave it an effort. They tried their best, did everything they could to try and get the ball on the onside kick. You're exactly right. They had to try it. It was their only option. And now this game is done. Just take it, kneel, and call it a day.
Dalton down to a knee, and that'll be all she wrote. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. It's a win for the Bengals as we say so long from Cincinnati.